Coming like a Hellcat. Like a Hellcat. Coming like a Hellcat. Like a Hellcat.
What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up?
Hello, racing fans. Good afternoon, and welcome to Season 16, Round 5 of Odyssey Late Racing League GT Europe. My name is Christian Julian. I also go by Koju here in the booth, and we're going to get some housekeeping out of the way really quick so we can get right into the action for you. So as we can see, for Season 16, we are at Round 5. So this is going to be at Brands Hatch. It is 1 hour long race. So 60 minutes of non-stop action for our 32 drivers, I believe, that are out on the grid right now. Excuse me, 37. I said corrected. 37 total drivers for tonight for y'all in the EU region. Next week, round 6 is our final round, and it is a track vote amongst the drivers, and I believe they have voted for the beautiful and sunny Bathurst. So we will be going down under to Mount Panorama for round 6 of season 16. And let's get right into the action. The rookies are out on the track qualifying right now. We are on board with Bojan Uzkokovic in the number 54 McLaren. As times start coming in, Bojan electing to take a sand vacation there, so we're going to be moving up a little bit and seeing... Ooh, that's a very nice livery. Ooh, I like the colors that Antoni here is driving. Antoni in the number 976 BMW P2 right now. Fastest time for them at 125.545. With our provisional leader right now, it is Jaakko Hankabori. Jaakko, I believe, in P2 for the rookies. So getting on pole position right now is gonna be very promising for them. The number 78 AMG, fastest time 125.370. Does Antoni improve? It doesn't seem that Antoni improves. We're going to be looking at the rest of the Deltas. Justin in the number 273 Porsche for Run DJC Racing. Up on the Delta, almost a full second, so that's going to be a very nice spot for them. And they're able to complete this lap here. Coming through the last turn. How much does Justin improve? Justin crawling his way up from 12 all the way into provisional P2. What a great run by Justin there. 125.417. Jaakko, however, though, increasing the pace, now 124.950 for them. That's going to put them with a very nice cushion of almost half a second between P1 and P2. However, we do have the leader of the rookies here, Mr. Simon Kret. Mr. Simon in the number 38 BMW. Right now, going through turns. I believe that is the Sterling's turn, going under the Pirelli Bridge, and now through Clark Curve. Can Simon improve? There is a green on the Delta. Will that put them in the top 5? It will. It'll actually put Simon in P4, but someone else came to take that P4 spot. That looks like Artyom Hazlashi in the number 20 BMW, kicking out his BMW manufacturer counterpart there, down a little spot or two. But a couple more drivers just coming out of nowhere, setting in really great laps. Now Paul Dickinson in the number 120, in the number 93 Ferrari, followed by in front of Marcus Craven, who was able to get in front of Justin Prozorski, which is wow. All three of these cars came out of nowhere to cement themselves up into the podium. Paul Dickinson 125.195. So Paul's clawing at the door of 124 there. Marcus Craven not too far off, 125.295, so 1/10 of a second actually between Paul Dickinson and Marcus Craven up there to complete the podium. That's basically a blink of an eye, if I remember correctly. It's like one little splitter. So it's going to be very interesting to see if anyone's going to be able to improve with 3 minutes and 28 seconds left in qualifying. Oh, unfortunately, throwing the left-hand tires into the dirt there is not very conducive to a good lap here at Brands Hatch. So that is going to be slowing down Mr. Simon here. Up into P3 though. So maybe if they didn't put those tires in the dirt, maybe they would have got an even better time. But we are at the beautiful and sunny Brands Hatch. 15 degrees Celsius on the track, 15 degrees Celsius ambient temperature. One of the most, if not the famous British track. Between this and Silverstone, depends on how you look at it, right? Depends on what kind of racing you're into. But Brands Hatch, this is the GP circuit, by the way, located in Falcombe, West Kingsdown, London. 2.43 miles long, with 108 feet of elevation changes. You're going to be going up 108 feet. Actually, let's see if we can get a good look at that right now. As we see the number 20 car driven by RTM Kalasny in P10 right now, going up into P2 right there, known as Druids, I believe. And then coming straight down for the fast left-hander of turn 3 into the Cooper Straight now. With a nice left-hand elevation change going up the hill into Surtees. And then you get a very nice back straight here. Going down, all the way downhill into Hawthorne Bend. And fast right-hander. So sometimes some of the angles that we see here on our screen is not even one-to-one there. So you as RTM elects to end their lap, because the timer is officially over for the rookies. So I do hear the roaring and the sputtering of the engines of the pros and the AMs getting ready to come out onto the grid to start their qualifying time. However, all the rookies are still allowed to stay out and finish as long as they are on a valid lap. Couple of final laps coming out. Doesn't look like anyone can beat Jaco. Jaco with 124.645. However, Paul Dickinson so close. 124.762 for Paul Dickinson. And then Antoni Gauwats in the number 976 BMW, able to also get a 124.865 there. Simon Kretz moves down into P4. 124.9 for him. Jonathan Forward now in P5. The number 4 Ferrari, with a 124.942, and Mr. Robert Logan in the number 83 Porsche, rounding off your top 5 for the rookies there, with a 125.032. And with that sound, and with the rookies starting to come into the pits, I do hear the roaring of the pros and the AMs as we see them leave the pit lane and start to warm up their tires. Now, Brands Hatch is only 9 turns. However, it is a very, very tight track. So there aren't very many places to pass. Even on this straight here, you have to commit to the pass. And with the high tire degradation and with the medium to fast speed turns that you're facing here at Brands Hatch, a tire change may be in the future for most of, if not all, the drivers here on the track. See the pros and AMs line up at the end. However, a big shunt there. That is not what we want to see, especially for drivers that are lining up Going to be moving over to the number 187 Lamborghini, who looks to be starting their out lap. I don't know if y'all could tell, but the Lamborghini is one of my favorite cars here in Assetto Corsa Competizione. So let's see if we can get a nice little on board. The number 187 Lamborghini is being driven by Yevhen Artemenko. We see him carve his way through the turns here with the screaming V10 behind him. As we do see a couple of valid drivers now getting close to the start-finish line. We're going to start seeing some of those pro and N times start populating up on the board. The number 187 Lamborghini in provisional pole 2 with a 124.652. What a lap. However, we do expect to see the pros and the AMs get a little bit of a quicker time. Jaco might be a small outlier, but if I remember correctly, pros and AMs are shooting towards aiming towards the 122s, if not 123s. I have my handy dandy cheat sheet right here. Yes. So if you, or what I consider, this is the views by the views of Koju. All of my views have no affiliation with Orel or anyone else, but if you are a pro or am driver, or a pro or amateur driver, silver driver, you should be aiming towards 122, 123. Mid 123s would be like the slowest that I would imagine a pro driver. So I hope to see a little bit faster times from some of these drivers. However, there we go. We do have a 124.342. So we're getting there. Now, I may be embellishing the time a little bit because if off the top of my head, if I remember correctly, the times that I am saying that I usually spew out of my mouth are perfect condition times as well. As we see Yevhen Artemenko take a little bit of a dirt nap right there. Mr. Dean Solomon in the number 59 Porsche up into provisional pole 2, right behind Michael Hutchinson. 124.465 for Dean Solomon. Also, interestingly enough, Dean Solomon in second place for the pro standings of GT Europe, tied also for second place. It's a three-way tie in the pro standings. Right now in P1, or leading the pros, is Lucas Kupka, who is actually, to speak of the driver, he is now in provisional pole 1, 123.977 for Lucas. However, the 3 second place drivers, or in pole 2 right now for the league championship standings, would be Dean Solomon in the number 59 Porsche. We have Tom Lesser in the number 777 BMW, who is now moving on up into P4, and Johnny Mars, who I don't see on track today. Oh, I do. There he is, the number 69 Ferrari. So all 3 of these these drivers tied for the second place championship standings. So it's going to be a very interesting battle here on the track. It's going to be a 1 hour long race, 60 minutes of non-stop action with a 30-minute pit window. It's a mandatory pit window, pit stop for the drivers. They must get fuel. Tires are optional. As we stay on board with Dean Solomon for a little bit longer. We do see him move up into P5. Tom Lesser in P4 is in the pit lane, however, so it does look like Tom has elected to finish their qualifying run. The 555 Ferrari, driven by James Seal, now in provisional pole 3. As we see a very nice Porsche slide there in recovery. The number 80 BMW, driven by Terry Dunn for Dunn in P16 right now. 124.947 for Terry Dunn. Relatively quick time still. Even I'm embellishing these times because I say they need to get like 22s and 23s, but getting a 24, 25, it's tough here at Brands Hatch. It's a very fast circuit. And it punishes every little mistake that you do. If you go just a tiny 2-bit wide, like here, especially in this last turn, you're gonna hit that sand and that dirt, and your lap is done basically after that. Terry Dunn crossing the line. Doesn't look like he's able to improve. Moving over to the number 256 BMW and Kevin Draps. Yes, it is, Justin. It is cold. It is a cold day on the track. It is but however, from my understanding, it is a normal British morning, 15 degrees Celsius, all around. 1 minute, 15 seconds left in qualifying. Kevin Draps now moving up into P3, the number 256 BMW, showing off his stuff and leading the silver drivers, actually. So this Kevin Draps with the silver background is an amateur driver. Finishing their run. Barry Dunn in P3 for the silver drivers, P6 overall. Barry Dunn as well, second place in the championship standings right now. The only person beating Barry is Victoras, but I don't see, is Victoras? I do see Victoras. Victoras is in P17 right now, the number 303 Porsche, struggling to get around Brands Hatch. The Porsche, from my understanding, does struggle a little bit here in certain turns. However, if there are any Porsche drivers in the chat, you would 100% know way more than I do. A couple of drivers still on track, finishing up their valid times. As that timer winds down, we're going to see that big fat quadruple zero, excuse me. But we will see 3 minutes of extra overtime to allow these drivers to finish up their valid laps. Not much of a huge change towards the top. Lucas Kupka still in the lead, number 969 McLaren, 123.977, dipping his toes finally into the 123. Michael Hutchinson, 124.115, puts him in provisional pole 2. And Kevin Draps, bar any other drivers, will be in P3. James Seal in P4. Thomas Hudak, P5. Tom Lesser, P6. Barry Dunn, P7. Bonus Charles, P8. Dean Solomon, P9. And Jaakko Hankavori in P10. That rounds off your top 10 here for Odyssey Racing League Season 16, Round 5 for GT Europe. I do believe we have one more driver finishing up their time. It's a number 69. If we can get the camera person to move over. Come on, camera person. Come on, camera person. That is Johnny Marsh. So Johnny Marsh, not able to improve, unfortunately. The number 69 Ferrari stays in P13. So that is the end of our official qualifying time. We're going to go to a quick intermission, and we will be right back.
I noticed things changed.
I wonder what went wrong today, eh? Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words to say, eh? To say the words to remember. Now we're here to take control over your body and over your soul. We're gonna take back everything and lose it all. Lose it all. Lose it all. Feel it in your arms, feel it in your legs, feel it on your fingertips and feel it in your head. Just let your body go, just let your body go, just let your body go and move to the rhythm.
Welcome to Odyssey Racing League GT Europe, Season 16, Round 5 at Brands Hatch. Your starting grid walk in pole position, the number 969 McLaren, driven by Lucas Kuka for Prague Sim Group. In P2, the number 32 Ferrari, driven by Michael Hutchinson, fitted UK Sim Sport. In P3, not too far off in qualifying, but unable to secure that second position, Kevin Drapst in the number 256 BMW. James Seal in the number 555 Ferrari for DSDF Racing, P4 for him. Thomas Hudak rounding off your top 5, the number 215 Ferrari. Excuse me, 214 Ferrari. Tom Lesser, the 777 BMW for LSR in P6. Kevin Drapst as well, the number 256 BMW, your leader for the Silver Drivers. Barry Dunn, the number 837 Ferrari in P7. P8, Bonus Charles, the number 26 Porsche for Mama Africa Motorsports, P8. P9, the number 59 Porsche, driven by Dean Solomon. Jaakko Hankabori, the number 78 AMG in P10 overall, however, leading the rookies. Yevhen Artemenko, the number 187 Lamborghini, P11. Paul Dickinson, P12 for Mr. Paul Dickinson, the number 93 Ferrari in the very nice yellow neon color for Paulie D. In P13, the number 69 Ferrari, driven by Johnny Marsh for fitted UK Sim Sport. The number 976 BMW, piloted by Antoni Gawatz. Number 38 BMW, driven by Simon Kretz for TLK Racing in P15. In P16, Jonathan Forward for fitted UK Sim Sport, the number 4 Ferrari in P16. In P17, the number 80 BMW, Barry Dunn. In P18, the number 303 Porsche Victoras for Porsche LTU. P19, the number 83 Porsche Robert Logan. In P20, the number 42 Ferrari Andy Purcell for fitted UK Sim Sport. P21 Marcus Craven, the number 196 Ferrari for fitted UK Sim Sport. Michael Solkovitz, the number 66 Ford Mustang for TLK Racing in P22. In P23, Justin Pozorski, 273 Porsche. Ivan Diaz in P24 in the number 2 Porsche. Artem Kazlanchi in the number 20 BMW. Max Termidov in P26, the number 44 AMG. In P27, Martin Pilontase, the number 6 Ferrari. In P27, Ian Weeks. P20 and P28. Roman Knott in P29. P30, Ivan McKendrick. P31, Anatoly Krotov. P32, Miguel Cizeron, the 999 Mercedes AMG. In P33, Bojan Uskokovic, sorry. Phil Sayers, the number in P34 and the number 118 Ferrari. Alexander Kushner in the 333 excuse me, not it's an AMG, that's an Aston Martin. In the 333 Aston Martin, P35. Antonio Montagani, the number 13 Ferrari in P36. P37, Samuel Craig, the number 10 BMW. We have Alnis Karis in the 800 Audi. In P39, Simon Prost, and the number 210 McLaren. And last but not least, to round off your 40 driver grid for tonight, Tobias Will Gallis, the number 15 McLaren, rounding off the back of the grid. So this is going to be very interesting. It's 40 cars on the grid for tonight. A couple of cars were able to get in during the qualifying, but did not set qualifying times. So they will be starting from the back as we wait for the drivers to pass the last turn here. We're going to see them line up side by side. And we're going to be ready to go racing as soon as that green flag drops. Right now, your leader, Lucas Kupka, is going to wait until the green flag drops, and we're going to see how they go. Side by side, coming now into the final straight. Excuse me, the start-finish straight. We're going to wait for that green flag. The green flag drops, the lights are out, and away we go. Lucas Kupka with a great defensive move along the outside to make sure Michael Hutchinson isn't able to make a move. Out in front now, side by side, Michael Hutchinson and Kevin Draps are trying to fight for P2. We do see a couple of banging and bruising in the back. We do see Bonus Charles going around the outside now, losing a couple of positions, actually gaining a spot. Tom Lester also giving a spot. Michael Hutchinson moving up into P2. Thomas Hudak, unfortunately, a big incident there coming out of turn 3, and there's a car right there turned off in the middle. That is, I believe, the BMW of Tom Lester. It's a 777 BMW that unfortunately spun out there, and looks like a lot of contact here in the tight corners. That is Brands Hatch, but Rubbing is racing. As I do not see a red flag, it only seemed to be a couple of, a small little incident there. As we see the rest of the drivers line up single file, a couple of moves trying to be made. That is the BMW, the 256 BMW of Kevin Draps, who does look to... Did seem that he was trying to make a move there coming into Hawthorne Bend, but fortunately was able to pull out in time. Moving up, a little bit of cushion now between the leaders, however, very, very tightly packed in the middle there. A fakie being made by Yevhen, however, not able to make it stick. Maybe able to make it stick. The BMW not able to hold on to it. Terry Dunn now fighting off the Lamborghini on his inside. Is he able to keep it there? Both drivers commit to the turn. The 187 Lamborghini braking a little bit later than he does, pushing him to the outside. Can Terry Dunn hold on to it? With the Porsche along the inside as well, Terry Dunn has to go around the long way. Oh, that's going to slow Terry. Ivan Diaz on the inside, though, trying to capitalize on the small mistake made by Terry Dunn. Terry Dunn, unfortunately, putting his tires on the grass creek coming out of the exit of turn 3, and that slows you down heavily, especially against a driver who has a better exit than you there. Ivan Diaz pushing his pace and pushing the limit of the drivers in front of him. We do have an injured Ford Mustang. That is the Ford Mustang of Michael. Number 66 Ford Mustang does seem to be limping a little bit here. So Andy Purcell might have to pull the trigger a little bit sooner than he would like. Coming into turn 1 now, is Andy Purcell able to make it past the Ford Mustang? He is not, unfortunately. Actually it does. Ford Mustang going a little bit too deep there. Now Andy Purcell getting in front, as well as leaving the door wide open for the 800 Audi to slip on by as well. The 5.2 liter V8 of the Ford Mustang, unfortunately not able to handle the damage that it has right now on the front. Usually, depending on the type of damage, it might just be cosmetic damage and it might slow down your top speed a little bit. However, there may be some underlying damage for that Ford Mustang underneath, which will affect their handling. Oh, the number 273 looks to have gone off or have been involved in an incident as well, as we do see yellow flag in the next section ahead. A couple of drivers showing contact as well. Let's move on up. Oh, that was a driver almost off the track there. Ivan Diaz fighting off the trying to fight with the number 976 BMW. With everyone fighting for every inch they can. It is a 60-minute race. However, Brands Hatch, such a tight, very close circuit, you're gonna be rubbing elbows. If you're not rubbing elbows, you're not doing it right. Barry Dunn in the E837 Ferrari on the back bumper of Dean Solomon in the 59 Porsche. Both drivers relatively close times to each other pace-wise. However, Barry Dunn getting a much better exit and now able to make the overtake into Sterling's. Getting in front now. Barry Dunn taking that P8 spot. I don't know if it's inherent. It might be inherently an issue with the Porsche at this track. But I've been seeing some of the Porsche cars struggle a little bit. The number 6 car is off at turn 2. It's going to be causing a little bit of traffic for the leaders now. Moving over to Simon Pret in the number 38 BMW right behind Terry. Two-way battle here. Roman Knott and the number 96 BMW being chased down by Miguel Cizeron, the 999 AMG we are on board with right now. And they're getting very close to Mr. Ian Weeks and the 189 McLaren in front. They're all within less than half a second of each other. Any small little slip up could mean a place, and oh, we might see that. We might see it sooner than later. The 999 AMG unfortunately getting loose on the exit of turn 7, and bobbles the exit and loses a spot for it. Oh, tight racing here coming into the third turn. a fight for getting in the top 20. Oh, some great defense there by the BMW in the back as well. That's the number 20 BMW, putting himself right in the perfect spot. However, we are on board with the 256 BMW, chasing down the number 976 BMW. So many battles going on at once. Samuel Craig and the number 10 BMW so close to the back bumper of the car in front of him. A little bit of contact between the number 42 Ferrari and the number 44 AMG. Number 42 Ferrari flashing his lights, giving him a little bit of a piece of his mind there. Do see a time penalty handed out, the number 210 McLaren. 15-second time penalty. Terry Dunn slipping past Jonathan Forward there at the exit of turn 1. However, a move being made into turn 2, possibly. Number 4 Ferrari stays as close to the apex as possible. The number 3 BMW, excuse me, the number 80 BMW having to go wider than expected. However, able to keep that place. Very nicely, very nice overtake by the number 80 BMW. Oh, camera person, what's going on? Oh, as we see, someone take a huge hit. That's the number 196. Marcus Craven, unfortunately, either being thrown into the wall or misses the braking zone. But that's going to be super detrimental to their race there. We do also see the number... There was another Porsche that also went off the track, being thrown away like a spent credit card, just being thrown to the wayside off the track there. I'm gonna see if we can get a better visual of that. Oh, this might be a different incident. Oh, yep. The camera people are not helping me today. They're giving me the wrong incidents. Come on, dudes. That's not what we wanted to see. But what we do want to see is Mr. Dean Solomon, a number 59 Porsche, now into P9, right on the back bumper of Barry Dunn. Both of them also trying to get on the back bumper of the number 93 Ferrari in front of him, that yellow neon Ferrari. As we move a little bit more up in the standings, Johnny Marsh on the back bumper of Jaco. This fight is happening not too far off from the fight that we were just watching now, the three-way battle for P6, 7, and 8. Right now we're looking at the battle for P4. As we have a battle brewing at the top as well. Our leader, Lucas Kupka, in the number 969 McLaren, has less than a second between himself and Michael Hutchinson. Five-second time penalty to the number 976 BMW. Let me see if the stewards can share their sheet with me. Is this it? Is this the sheet? Okay, thank you. Yes. Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay. So we do have a 5-second penalty for the number 976 for driving standards. And we do have time penalties handed out to the number 54 and the number 303 for causing incidents. .45 minutes left in Season 16, Round 5 of GT Europe. And with that, the pit window is open as well. So now we will have to wait and see what drivers elect to pit in early and which drivers elect to stay out. It's going to be very interesting to see the difference in strategy between the GT Europe drivers and the GT America drivers. Racing fans as well, please don't be afraid to let me know in the chat which cars you want to see more of. Favorite teams, drivers, even liveries. I want to see a blue car or a yellow car. Let me know. We can give them more screen time. Speaking of screen time as well, James Seal and the number 555 Ferrari trying to make a move on Simon Kret there, coming into turn 1. Had a lot of speed. Able to make it into turn 2. Dives into the inside of the turn. Yes, he was able to make it stick. The number 38 BMW tries to make a switchback. However, goes to a little bit too far wide and has to slot back behind the BMW. So that is a spot there for Mr. James Seal. Eyeing his eye on the prize forward in front of him, Mr. Jonathan Forward now. Let's see how James can handle the rookie sandwich that he is in right now. Oh, that's Dean Solomon, unfortunately going off the track and maybe causing an incident. The number 187 is also off track there. A little bit of damage between... Oh, well, not a little. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage. The 187 Lamborghini now having to go into the pits to fix that damage. That is a... That's some battle scars. Yeah, that's going to take... Uh-oh. That's going to take some time to heal. Very done. In P7 now, right behind the neon Ferrari that is Paul Dickinson. Forza Abdul says, I want to see Nightshade. We'll get that done. We'll get it for you. We can make it happen. some more penalties being handed out. With that pit window being open, though, you are able to go in and serve that penalty. Now would be a great time to go in and serve those. Forza Abdul says, I want to see Barry versus Terry Dunn. That actually might happen. Barry Dunn in P7, Terry Dunn in P8. Both drivers not too far off from each other as well. Only 2.5 seconds between the Dunns. I need to ask them, are they brothers? Are they cousins? Are they twins? Shout out to Barry and Terry Dunn. Speaking of shout out, we do have some special shout outs that I actually would like to get through. So we do have a patron here at Odyssey Racing League. That patron helps us with server costs and bringing races and leagues to you. All the proceeds we get from Patreon and donations go straight back into the league, straight into prize pool and league and server costs. So Mr. Matt Hugh, Julius Tan, Nicholas Woods, Abdul Raouf, Derek Anderson, Joel Price, Jose Hernandez, Nate Schreiber, Neil Bearvotes, Sven Goose, Jose Kaiser, Phil Cryotheos, Robbie Sorta Asian, Marcos Pimentel, and Dean Solomon. Thank you so much for your patronage. Without you, we wouldn't be able to put on these awesome races. And speaking of awesome races, we do have an awesome, super special, mega amazing shout out to the ORL stewards. Thank you very much, ORL Life Stewards. As you may or may not know, at Odyssey Racing League, for all of our races, we do have live stewards. And without them, this wouldn't be possible. So thank you very much, Odyssey Racing League live stewards. If I had any golden stars, or I would give you all as many golden stars as you want. Simon Kretz with the Go-Go Gadget Extendo Arm, the number 38 BMW on the back bumper now of Jonathan Forward and the number 4 Ferrari. Squirrely exit there for Jonathan, however, able to keep it relatively clean on the exit. And that's going to keep them in front of the number 38 BMW. As we do see the 555 Ferrari going into the pits right there. That's going to be a couple of positions made up for these drivers here. It does put Jonathan Forward in the number 4 Ferrari in P10. That's going to put them in the top 10 as the number 10 Ferrari closes a door right in front of the BMW. The battle-scarred Porsche driven by Ivan Diaz is not gonna let a little bit of damage end his race, and especially that little slide. Gonna continue pressing forward, keeping pace. And looks to be staying out as long as possible, which may be the strategy here at Brands Hatch. I believe the overcut works better here. I may be wrong, and by maybe I mean I'm pretty sure I'm 100% wrong. Johnny Marsh now up into provisional pole 3. That puts Lucas Kupka in provisional pole, as we have a yellow flag. The number 256 off the track at the last turn, known as Clark Curve. Michael Hutchinson in P2 and Johnny Marsh in P3 to round off your podium there. We did have James Seal fighting for the podium and in third position, actually, in fact. But now James Seal in P22 elected to pit earlier than everyone else. So that puts James all the way into P22. The number 555 Ferrari, though, has completed their mandatory pit stop. So they're on a completely different strategy than the rest of these drivers. What am I getting for takeout tonight, says Forza Abdul. I don't know. I'm feeling tacos. Let's do tacos. You wanna come? Tacos are on me, Abdul. In my part of Texas, the tacos are amazing. You won't regret it. Robert Logan, the number 83 Porsche. Struggling a little bit around Brands Hatch, however, that BMW. That is, yeah, the BMW of Tom Lester, the 777 BMW, going into the pits a little bit early. So that does give Robert Logan that spot up. The number 83 Porsche is going to have to dig deep and find a little bit of that pace somewhere. However, with the power of God and anime on their side, Robert Logan, I'm pretty sure, can achieve anything. Justin Pozorski, I'm sweating, they say. Ooh, why are you sweating? What causes you to sweat today? Someone I do know is sweating, Johnny Marsh, the number 69 Ferrari, defending his top 3 spot against the rookie Yako Hakabori. The number 78 AMG, sticking his nose into the apex of the turn 2. However, Johnny Marsh still out in front. Oh, you can just go during your pit stop. During the pit stop, you can get out of the car, go into the paddock, grab a couple snacks, chat in the chat, and then go back in the car and race again. Another big special shout out to you in the racing in the chat. Yeah, that's right, you. Thank you so much for being here and joining us for Season 16 of Odyssey Racing League GT Europe Round 5 at the beautiful and sunny Brands Hatch. 33 minutes left in our official race time, which leaves 18 minutes left in the pit window for our drivers. I did hear a little birdie tell me that at the top, Lucas Kupka is having to defend against the number 32 Ferrari for the lead. It does look like maybe traffic may have been a little bit of a factor here, as the cushion between Lucas Kupka and Michael Hutchinson disappeared within an instant. Couple of drivers now diving into the pits as the timer winds down for the official pit time. So we are going to see the standings change a little bit. Let's see if we can get a different angle of this battle here for the lead. Oh no, the 969 McLaren unfortunately gets squirrely at the exit of Sterling's. Excuse me, at the end of turn 3. And loses the lead to the number 32 Ferrari. Michael Hutchinson now leading the race. We definitely need to get a replay of that. What happened there? Going back to the 969. Let's get a quick replay there. Great exit out of turn 2. Now coming into the downhill section of turn 3. Hits the apex and just loses the back end at the exit there, and trying to recover the car ends up overcorrecting it and throws it into the grasscrete / grass section there at the end, and decides to pit as well, because Michael Hutchinson, the leader, is also pitting with 15 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the official pit window. That is your leader in the pits. So with the number 80 BMW also electing to come in, that's going to be moving the 214 also into the pits, and also the number 78 into the pits. Is everyone going to the pits? Wow. So all of your top 5 drivers dove into the pits right after the other. Monkey see, monkey do. Which is going to leave the number 38 BMW in the lead right now. Simon Crett, the number 38 BMW for TLK Racing, in the lead of the race with 29 minutes, 35 seconds left to go. Now remember, racing fans, we do have a mandatory pit stop, and we can tell us, the viewers, we can tell if they have completed their pit stop, their mandatory pit stop, by looking at the tree to our left of the screen. We do have the name of the driver. We have the manufacturer car, and then their number plate. Next to that number plate, in this case Bonus Charles, is the number 26 Porsche. Right next to the number 26, we do see a green box. That means Bonus Charles has completed their mandatory pit stop. If you have a orange background with the number 1 on it, that means you have 1 mandatory pit stop left to complete, and you must complete that within the pit window. So your leader, the number 38 BMW, driven by Simon Crett, still needs to complete their pit stop, as well as the driver in P5 right now, the number 96 BMW, Roman Kott. The leaders have been able to get as close as they can to the limit without overextending, it seems. Johnny Marsh and the number 69 Ferrari up into P6. Terry Dunn, the BMW in front of him. Different class, however, still fighting for position. That is the top 5 position. It's the fight for the top 5 there. We do still have the battle between Lucas Kupka and Michael Hutchinson, which is going to be the battle for the lead. It is a 1.5 second cushion between Lucas and Michael, as we do see our overall leader Simon Crett go into the pits. we will see the standings change and see Lucas Kupka back in the lead, actually. There it is, our leader once again, Lucas Kupka in the 969 McLaren, able to get out of the pits a little bit quicker, a tiny amount quicker than Michael Hutchinson in the number 32 Ferrari. So this may have been a battle in the pits. Lucas Kupka was in the lead before the pit stop. However, an unfortunate incident coming out of turn 3 made him lose his lead position, and then they decided to go into the pit and finish and do their pit stop right behind the leader who became Michael Hutchinson. Now though, in the pits, able to get a quicker stop and out there on the track faster, so that puts them in the lead with almost 2 seconds of a lead in front of Michael Hutchinson. Going down now, the battle for P7 and P6 between James Seal and Thomas Hudak. James was fighting for a podium spot, but unfortunately was part of an incident earlier, and that threw him down a numerous amount of spots. However, crawling his way back up, P7 for the 555 Ferrari. Go bonus, says Durasso. Go bonus indeed. Bonus Charles, the number 26 Porsche up into P3. Excellent pit stop as well. Number 26 Porsche has a great cushion in front and behind him, so if they stay at pace, that will secure them a podium position. However, with the traffic that we do have here at Brands Hatch, the number 96 BMW unfortunately going off the track and causing a yellow sector. But that traffic is brutal here at Brands Hatch. Not a lot of places to pass, and if you pass, you must commit to the pass. As we do see a blue flag being shown there. We do have a rule at Odyssey Racing League. If you are given a blue flag, that means you must give up the space within 2 sectors. You must help facilitate a clean overtake as well. As we do see an injured BMW, the number 96 BMW to be exact, going a little bit too deep there in the last turn, in the second to last turn, excuse me, turn 8 Sterling's. As we see James Seal get a monster run here. Is he able to get on the inside? Makes a switcheroo, goes along the outside, dips his left tires into the grass. Maybe a little bit of contact there as we do see sparks fly. Inside move being made. However, the defensive move made by the 214 overpowers James Seal, and he's not able to complete the overtake. James Seal still in P7. Thomas Hudak defending as hard as he can, making that Ferrari as wide as he can coming into turn 1 and 2. Stays in P6. Do see the Ferrari battle unfold in front of us. We're going to try to bring you as many action-packed shots as we can. Moving over to Johnny Marsh in P5. Was there contact there? Let's go back. Better angle here. Nope. The camera people definitely are not helping me today. That is a very angry looking car taking turn 2. Look at the slip angle. Wow. Wow. Okay, yeah, I have no idea what's going on there. I am so sorry. But something not to laugh about is Mr. Johnny Marsh in the number 69 Ferrari, who was able to get a really good run by the look of it against Terry Dunn, but that BMW is just a monster here. Able to stay out in front. Terry Dunn not letting that P4 spot go away quietly into the night. Coming up into turn 2, Dean Solomon and number 59 Porsche trying to get on the back bumper of Simon Kret. Simon defending very well here. 38 BMW still in P13. Max Turbinov, the number 44 AMG for HRT in P22 right now. Catching up to Yevhen Artemenko, who's been losing a little bit of pace recently. A yellow flag up at the top for the number 32. So maybe a little bit of contact. Let's see if we can figure out what's happening there in the lead. Nothing too crazy for the number 32. Maybe, oh, I sit corrected. That was crazier than we expected. The 32, great save though by Michael Hutchinson, able to keep it out of the wall. Yeah, that is the turn, from my understanding, that messes up all the cars. That's the fast right-hander going up the hill, where if you can't keep the back end under you, it's just gonna slip out. But a great save by Michael Hutchinson keeps him in that P2 spot. However, Bonus Charles now able to crawl his way a little bit closer to that P2 spot. Bonus Charles now only 6 seconds away. But less than 6 seconds, actually about less than a second. James Seal along the inside of Terry Dunn, who had to go out wide there for turn 4. Certez now side by side coming down, almost contact, almost relatively nasty contact between both the number 80 and the 555. However, the Ferrari backing off a little bit. Some kitty litter being thrown up there on the left side of our screen. I don't know who that was by, but contact, more contact actually. And that puts the 555 past the number 80. So James Seal moving up into P5 and breaking that top 5. Oh, is that a car? Is that a backwards car? That is a backwards car. The number 710, driven by Anatoly Krotov, unfortunately took a spin there and was facing the wrong way. However, it looks like no one was injured in the process. Annelies Caris, the number 800 Audi, on the back bumper of Andy Purcell. Andy Purcell gonna have to dig in deep and figure out a way to defend against the Audi for the next 15 minutes and 55 seconds. As our official pit window timer is also winding down, 50 seconds on that. So anyone that has not completed their stop within that time will be given a penalty. It's always this. It's this specific camera person. I'm gonna speak to your mother. I'm doing a terrible job today, but not doing a terrible job. Barry Dunn doing a great job staying inside of the top 10. The number 837 BMW on the back bumper of the number 78 AMG, the leader of the rookies right now. That fast cresting and then sweeping to the right downhiller that is turn 1, as we did see a car go off into the sand there at the back. However, here in the middle of our screens, Barry Dunn still putting and applying the pressure to Jaco in the number 78 AMG. As we hit 14 minutes left in our race, we have now entered the stretch zone. So hydration check, stretch check. Grab a little, stand up, stretch a little bit. Grab a sip of water. Stay hydrated, my friends. I would also like to move into our next segment, which we like to call Granny Shifters and Double Clutchers. Granny Shifters are drivers that unfortunately lost the most positions tonight, and the Double Clutchers are drivers that have gained the most positions tonight. So right now we do have a couple of drivers who have all lost 10 spots apiece. So they will be awarded the Granny Shifter Award for tonight. This is also a complete joke. There is actual no award. There is no trophy, or else not. There is no contract. Orel does not condone nor know about any of this. Oh, as Barry Dunn almost gets pushed off the track there, as we do see a four-way battle between a certain amount of cars, and that's the 333 Aston Martin that I believe is blue flag, so they shouldn't be fighting with anyone. However, electing to stay on the inside of the turn, which is relatively which is arguably not where you want to be as the blue flag driver. So that is an unfortunate monkey wrench that was thrown into the battle there. Some kitty litter being thrown up because a car unfortunately went off the track there at the exit of turn 7. Shanice, yes. Barry Dunn, a way better exit than the number 78 driven by Jaco, so that puts him in front. Coming into turn 1 though, Jaco is still keeping his eye on the prize, keeping an eye on the apex, able to hit it relatively cleanly now. Barry Dunn right behind the number 80 BMW in Terry Dunn. We have a battle of the Dunns on our screen. A great exit by Barry. Is he able to catch up to Terry? Terry closing the door. Now into the back straight, which done once and more. And we still can't stop thinking about the number 78 AMG, a nice little fakey move by the number 837 Ferrari. However, the number 80 BMW did not bite. The number 32, Michael Hutchinson, losing spots, unfortunately going off the track by the looks of it at the last turn there. Michael Hutchinson moving down to P5. That moves Bonus Charles up into P2, and Johnny Marsh to the number 69 Ferrari in P3. Contact being made by the Ferrari and the AMG coming into turn 1. However, Barry Dunn still stays in front. Both cars on the track still. Blue flag being shown for the cars in front. So close. As we see the car giving way to the blue flags. Barry Dunn staying on the back bumper of Terry Dunn. Nine minutes to go in the race. Justin Pozorski, though, still trying to fight their way into the top 10. Jonathan Forward in the number 4 Ferrari is keeping them out of it right now. However, there is going to be a three-way battle for that top 10 spot. Jonathan Forward, P10. Justin Pozorski in P11. Simon Crett, the number 38 BMW in P12. All of these cars less than a second between each other. Less than, that's like even less than a tire width of space. Justin Pozorski on almost, Justin Pozorski almost hitting the back bumper of the Ferrari in front, but Simon Krett's overcorrecting for the mistake of Justin Pozorski, and then throws the 38 BMW. Oh my goodness. Off the track, and at that angle, at that speed, you're unfortunately hitting the wall. Still a tight battle between Andy Purcell and Alnis Caris. The number 800 Audi gaining 24 spots today. Having a great recovery drive. The number 800 Audi now in P14. Starting off the race in, I believe, last, if not almost last, P38. Now into P14. Moving back to the Battle of the Duns. Terry Dunn still in P6, the number 80 BMW. Edging out the number 837 Ferrari just by a little bit, less than half a second between them. The number 69 Ferrari given a 15-second time penalty. That is not gonna make I was going to say not going to make anyone happy, but that's going to make James Seal in the number 555 Ferrari happy, because that's going to put Johnny Marsh out of the top 3. If it was a 5-second penalty, Johnny Marsh may have been able to stay on the podium, but a 15-second time penalty with only 6 minutes left in the race is very detrimental to your race. It's almost like a twist of the knife in the gut. Off screen, Jonathan Forward losing that 10th position to Justin Pozorski. Justin now in the top 10, the 273 Porsche, able to make the overtake on the number 4 Ferrari there. Still on board with Barry Dunn. And this isn't just a fight between family members. This is a fight as well for the podium for the amateur drivers. We can see on our screen the drivers' number plates have a colored background. So a white background means you are a pro driver, a silver background means you are an amateur or silver driver, and a red background means you are a rookie driver. So all of the number plates are technically fighting each other for the championship, but on the grid here on the track, you're able to fight anyone that is in a car with 4 wheels. You may fight them. Terry Dunn, defensive move along the inside, making Barry Dunn choose. Do you want to take the really, really tight apex, or do you go around the outside? Around the outside, Barry Dunn goes now into turn 3, coming up into turn 4. It looked like it may have gotten a better exit. The 837 Ferrari, however, struggling to catch up and keep up with the number 80 BMW. So we're going to see on this back straight how it goes, because we can also see Jaco right behind them. So any little mistake that the 837 Ferrari makes, and Jaco is just going to put himself right in that spot. 15-second penalty handed out to the 710 now. Car in front and a car behind. Barry Dunn having to play both offense and defense at the same time. Depending on the situation, you may have to elect to choose one over the other. So we're going to see, will Barry have to choose either offense or defense? Such a close battle that's been happening on our screens for the last 15 to 20 minutes. Incredible driving by everyone. Couple of penalties handed out now. Jonathan Forward, unfortunately, given a 15-second time penalty, as well as the 710. So, a 30-second actually. So a little bit longer. That is going to be the end of the race for the number 4 Ferrari. Some traffic happening. Barry Dunn almost making contact with Terry. Number 837. Oh, contact. There was contact. That is the number 189 McLaren, causing a little bit of traffic there between the drivers. And with that traffic, that does give Terry a lot more space. And unfortunately, Barry also loses that spot to Jaco. So Terry Dunn moving or staying with their position. Jaco moving up into P7 and Barry unfortunately moving down in P8. However, Jaco and Barry are going to be less than half a second, so 0.5 seconds between them. And with 40 seconds left in the race, I believe this is going to be the white flag and the final lap for our drivers. As we keep an eye on our leader, the number 969 McLaren, Lucas Kupka for Prague Sim Group, crossing the last couple of turns. Bonus Charles in P2. Johnny Marsh in P3, but Johnny Marsh with that 15-second time penalty will be throwing them down a good amount of spots, like 4 or 5 spots. So 3 seconds left in the race. Will Lucas cross the line before the timer ends? And it does look like he's going to be crossing the line and taking the checkered flag. Your winner for round 6, Odyssey Racing League GT Europe, Lucas Kupka in the 969 McLaren. In P2, the number 26 Porsche driven by Bonus Charles, still having to cross a couple of turns, coming out of turn 8 Sterlings into the clearways, and now into turn 9 Clark Curve. No traffic in front. The only thing they see is the checkered flag, and that is P2 for Bonus Charles, the number 26 Porsche. In P3, crossing the finish line, Johnny Marsh, the number 69 Ferrari, followed closely behind by the number 555 Ferrari in James Seal. Johnny Marsh, unfortunately, with a 15-second time penalty as well, so that will be added on until the end of the race. So that is going to be moving James Seal up into P3, and your winner as well for the silver drivers, James Seal. P3 overall winner for the silvers. Thomas Hudak in P5. Terry Dunn in P6, finishing it off. P7, the number 78 AMG, taking the checkered flag for the rookies. Congratulations to Jaco, your winner of the rookies. P8, Barry Dunn. P9, Paul Dickinson. And P10, Justin Pozorski to finish and round off your top 10 here for Season 16 Odyssey Racing League GT Europe Round 5 at Brands Hatch. Couple of the drivers going off into the side there, saying hellos, and they're good races. Couple of drivers still on the track, finishing off their cool down laps, but that is the end of the race. Your winner of round 6 for Season 16 Odyssey Racing League GT Europe, Lucas Kupka in the number 969 McLaren. Your winner for the silver drivers, James Seal, the number 555 Ferrari. And your winner for the rookies, Jaco Hankavori, your winner for the rookie drivers. Great racing, everybody. This is such a tight and close circuit. Bumping elbows and bumping uglies is bound to happen here at Brands Hatch. However, next week for round 6, we do have a special treat for you and for the drivers as well. It is a track vote that all of the drivers were able to vote on. They were able to vote on every single track, and they voted for the beautiful and challenging Mount Panorama. So next week for round 6, GT Europe will be at Mount Panorama Bathurst in the Landau Under. As well, please join us on our Discord, discord.gg/Odyssey Racing League. Or you can find us on thesimgrid.com/hosts/Odyssey Racing League. Or I believe it's communities. So /communities/Odyssey Racing League. And you too can join us here on the grid. We do have GT Europe on Sundays and GT Americas on Thursdays. However, just because you live in Americas does not mean you cannot drive in Europe, and vice versa. So if you would like to join us, no matter what time, no matter where you live, you can also find us on thesimgrid.com. And that is it for me in the booth tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. On behalf of Odyssey Racing League, my name is Christian Julian. Have a great rest of your night.